What's up guys, welcome. My name is Jacky. Today we're going to do a really quick video. I'm just going to show you guys how I cover up my blemishes, and unlike a lot of people, I don't use concealer. I use foundation to cover up my blemishes, and that's something that I've kind of just learned recently. So I have midterms week, so it's been a little bit stressful. So I do have a couple friends at to play, specifically this one of course. I have this guy who was here a couple days ago and it kind of popped in. That's like the residual grossness of it. And then I have one right up here which kind of has no color, so I'm going to leave that one alone. We're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get started because it does take a little bit of time to dry down. This technique does take a little bit more time than like the concealer technique. But I'm choosing to use the Physicians Formula of the Healthy Foundation. I've already done the lower part of my face. My forehead is completely bare. What I'm going to do now is just pull this up and apply it to my forehead like I would any other day. So I just like to add a stripe and then blend that out using a brush or a beauty blender. So I'm just going to do that here. We're going to brush this out. And that was a really sheer amount, so I'm going to go in with a little bit more. And then I do blend it into the hairline. So obviously this isn't the worst pimple ever because it's pretty covered up now, but you can still definitely see that it's there. So what I do now is I'll pull out the applicator and then I'll just scrape off most of the product on there. So we're going to put on a very thin layer of this foundation just right on top of the blemish. So just right like this. Anywhere else I'll need it, so with the other blemish. You're going to think I'm the craziest person alive, but what we're going to do is sit here and wait for this to dry. It's going to take a minute, and I don't know how much camera footage time I have, but we'll try to sit here the entire time. Fast forwarded, of course. While we wait, let's just go over the reasoning on why I do this. So when we use concealer, for the most part, we'll use a shade that's lighter, like a half a shade or a full shade lighter than our normal skin tone. And we'll do it a lot under our eyes, right? But what we're doing when we're using a lighter tone, a lighter shade, is that we're bringing it forward, and then you don't want that with a pimple. You want to use something that is the same color as your skin, or the same shade as your skin. So you don't want it to do it darker to make it go in more, because then it look like you have a dent in your face, and you don't want it to be light because it'll pop out at you. So you want it to be the same shade, and what would be better than the shade that you put all over your face, right? I think here consistency is also a little bit key. This foundation is not very thick, it's kind of very light, and so I think it also works because concealers, for the most part, a lot of them are thicker. They're meant to be thicker, they're meant to be super duper opaque. But instead of using something that is thicker and lighter, we're going to go in with the exact same color we put on our skin with a lighter formula, and then just a little bit more coverage by not blending it out. If I were to take that brush right now and just blend this out, it would look exactly like it did before. It was pretty good, but it was still peeking through. So we're just going to wait for this to sit, and we're going to set it with a powder. Did I not bring my phone in here? What am I going to do until then? I guess I will go online on my computer. Some check-ins. What you're going to want to make sure is that you have the most product on the tip of the blemish, so that that's where it's going to be the most opaque. So for example, I think you need to go in a little bit more right here, just right on top. And again, you're going to want to scrape off the excess of the applicator when you put it on. You really don't want too much product. You're letting it completely dry down like this. If you had way too much product on, it would be way too thick and way too obvious. So we're just going to let it dry. Do a little check-in. So this one is the one where I needed barely any, and then this one a little bit more, and then this one the most. So this one does look like it's almost drying down, and then we just keep on waiting. I really wish I brought my phone in here. Doesn't do this work. So I have like a group project that I'm working on with people, and I pulled up like the Google Docs and stuff. This kid has his freaking paragraphs like highlighted in the darkest purple ever. This is so difficult to read. Just change it. Let's do a quick little checkup. It is still drying. Sometimes though, when I put too big of an area, so like if the pimple is like this big and then I cover it with like something like that, like I will go in, not really with the brush, or if I do go with the brush, it's a very small brush to be careful, and I just need to pat out the edges. So this one right here, I need to just pat out. Don't touch the actual blemish at all. You want all of that foundation on top of that. See, so you just blend out the edges only. You take your time with this because you don't want to touch the blemish. If you touch the blemish, you're going to pull away all of the product that we've been waiting for it to dry. Okay, you just keep waiting. And we're coming close to an end. It looks like most of it's dry except for the biggest one, which of course had the most product sitting on it. So we're just gonna wait for that to dry up. How's my pimple? We're getting there. This is taking so long to dry. I'm so tempted to touch it, but don't. This is taking so long and I need to go. I'm gonna be late for class. What do I do? This is still drying, but I need to leave soon. I'm gonna be late for class. Remember when I said it takes a while? After it does dry all the way, we're gonna go in with some loose finishing powder. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Fair Light, just to add a little bit more coverage on top of that. The other ones are pretty much dry, so I'm just gonna powder that on up. And also just powder my entire forehead while I'm at it. Kind of left that one alone, but I'm about to go into it just to powder it up because I do have to leave. I should have given myself more time for this video. Right, let's see what would happen if I powder it. It was pretty much dry, so it wasn't that bad. Ooh! Make sure you powder around it. Alright, definitely wait for it to dry completely before you powder it. It looks a little bit like it's soaked up the powder, so it's a little bit more opaque than I would like. But this has been a trick that I've been doing a lot. A lot of times, every time around my menstrual cycle, I'll always get like a pimple or whatever. But also when I stress a lot, and it's midterm week, so I'm stressed. Alright, well, tip for next time, wait for it to completely dry before you powder it. It does look a little bit more opaque than I want it to be, kind of like a full coverage foundation, just because I guess the powder kind of just like soaked it up, the liquid, and then it kind of just became, you know. But this is what I've been doing, and I find that it works a lot better than concealer, even if I swear it's the same shade as my skin. And even when I use a concealer like that, this just ends up looking way better for some reason. And specifically, I like doing it with this foundation. I think I've tried it with one other foundation. I don't remember which one, but this is my favorite foundation for this hack. Let me know if it works with other foundations, if you try it with another foundation, because that'd be really cool. I do really like this foundation anyway though, so it's fine. I'm kind of talking really fast now, so I'm gonna let you guys go. If you want to check out more of my videos, I'll have some on the screen and then also down in the description box below. If you wanted to subscribe, just hit there, subscribe, just click up there, and I will see you guys next time.